What's up guys, my name's Brandon and Apple just released a new firmware update for the AirPods Pro 2nd generation, and this is the second update for the AirPods since the iOS 17 update was released last month. So in this video, we're going to discuss what's new in this 6A305 update and how it fixed one of the very few issues I've had on my AirPod Pros since iOS 17 dropped. So first off, this update is only available for the AirPods Pro 2nd generation, and it is for both models, the Lightning and the ones with the USB-C port. So there's no update for the AirPods Max, or the AirPods Pro 1st generation. And this is likely just due to the fact that the big changes that were made to the AirPods with iOS 17, like adaptive audio, are specific to the AirPods Pro 2. And that's mainly what Apple is trying to fix with these subsequent updates. Okay, so every time I do one of these videos on the AirPods updates, I get people asking how to update. And unlike iOS, Apple does not allow you to manually install updates for the AirPods. I know it's 2023 and we still don't have that functionality. This all happens automatically in the background. However, there is a way to kind of force the update on your AirPods. And before you do that, just make sure that you're not on the latest update already, because again, this happens in the background a lot of times without you even knowing. So once you have your AirPods opened up, the case opened up, you should see them populate right here. If not, you can go into your Bluetooth and then find them and tap on the eye right next to it, and then go all the way down to the bottom and you will see version, and you can see my version number is the latest 6A305. Go ahead and tap on that and you will see that we do also have a new case version number. So it's now 60.83.0, and this is for the Lightning connection, the Lightning AirPods Pro 2nd generation. That could be different if you have the USB-C model. Okay, so if you're not on the latest version, the way to update your AirPods Pro 2nd generation is to put them on a wireless charger or just plug them in, just as long as they're charging. And then you need to keep your device nearby and make sure that you have Bluetooth enabled. And that's pretty much all you need to do. They should automatically update within 10 minutes as long as the battery percentage of the AirPods is over 50%. Now you will hear a chime from the case. If you do have the case sounds turned on, which you should anyways, you will hear a chime once they are updated. And that of course signifies the reboot of the AirPods, which happens after an update. So that is one, sign to look out for when your AirPods updates. Now you can also plug your AirPods into a Mac and then just keep them plugged in until they're updated as well. That's just an alternate method. And I've noticed that ever since iOS 17 came out, it seems like the updates happen quicker now than they used to before. So this should not take much time at all to update. Okay, so now that you're on the latest version, unless your AirPods have not been updated in months, you won't notice any visual changes or any type of additional new features. But once you throw these in your ears, you might start to notice some differences and some improvements, especially if you were having issues beforehand. Now, unfortunately, we have to just kind of rely on our own personal experience and kind of just what I say in this video and people in the comment section, because Apple does not provide any useful release notes for this update. As usual, you can see here, they are documented here. Apple does document these updates, but it just says that it includes bug fixes and improvements, nothing more. Okay, so let's talk about the changes that I've noticed with this new firmware update for the AirPods Pro 2. So first off, I'll just say that the initial iOS 17 update for the AirPods, which was version 6A300, completely fixed my noise cancellation issue. So I've really not had any issues with noise cancellation ever since iOS 17 was released, unlike what I faced in iOS 16. And really the same goes with transparency mode. Really no issues whatsoever with transparency mode ever since iOS 17 was released and that 6A300 update for the AirPods. However, when you mix those two together with Apple's new adaptive audio feature, that's where the issues began for me. And they're still not fixed here, even after last week's AirPods update. So last week we got another minor bug fix update, and it's still never fixed the adaptive audio feature for me, and that's why I didn't even make a video on it. But this update appears to have fixed at least the adaptive noise control feature, because now when I'm in a loud environment, the active noise cancellation kicks in and blocks out all of the noise as it should. Like for example, yesterday I was in Costco and I was using the adaptive noise control feature. I had this set to adaptive right there, but I was still able to hear way more of the outside world than I should be able to. In a loud environment like that, it should have had noise cancellation on and, much stronger than it was. Pretty much like mostly over on the transparency side compared to where it should have been all the way over on the noise cancellation side. And the same thing happened even when I'm at home and just outside. So after updating this, I did go outside and test this, and it appears that this has been fixed now. It really, picks up better your, outside noises, and it puts more of the emphasis on noise cancellation compared to transparency mode. Now, I will continue to test this just to ensure this is fixed, but so far it seems better for me. Conversation awareness also seems to have been improved with this update. So it's not showing here, but my volume has lowered. I have one AirPod in my ear right now, and that appears to have been improved with this update as well. So I've noticed that there's no longer any false triggers when singing or when videos with commentary are playing nearby. So like if I'm watching an interview or something like that, sometimes my AirPods would hear that, and I'd be singing at the same time, and I guess it would trigger it to think that I'm in a conversation. But I've tried that with this new update, and that appears to be fixed as well. So it's still showing that my volume is up, and you'll notice that it doesn't really stop. It doesn't really, actually go down permanently until I stop talking. So I'm going to stop talking, and now the audio is back to normal in my ears. And I've also noticed that the, change in volume is a lot more subtle now, whereas before it would kind of jolt up and jolt down, whereas now it's a little bit more smooth. It takes a while sometimes, which can be a little bit annoying, but it's a little bit smoother when it lowers and raises that volume based on when you're talking. And then the personalized volume feature right here, I just simply don't use that. I just do not find that to be useful for me. I like controlling the volume of my media, and I don't really care about my environment, in terms of, how loud or low I listen to my music. So I've kept that off, so I'm not able to tell a difference in that. But if you've been able to tell a difference with personalized volume after this update, please let me know in a comment down below. Now, the only real issue I've had with my AirPods Pro 2 ever since updating to iOS 17 has been with the microphone, and it appears that now that has been fixed with this update. And again, I will have to continue testing this and ensure that it has been fixed, but so far it seems to be resolved. So the issue I had was simply where my mic would stop working midway through a conversation. It was usually within the first 2 to 3 minutes of a conversation. And I also tried having automatically switch AirPods off and manually selecting a microphone, like one of my AirPods specifically, and that still did not resolve it. I still had this issue. I've had this ever since iOS 17, the first update for iOS 17, and now that seems to be fixed. So I called myself on FaceTime multiple times and tried it out, and it's fixed there. And I also made a regular phone call to somebody else, and that also, they did not report hearing any type of issue with not being able to hear me. So if you had any type of microphone issues, those could very well be resolved with this update, as they seem to be for me. And one of my favorite additions that is really under the radar with iOS 17 is auto switching. So that is just as fast as ever here with this new update. It's really not any different. It's not any faster than previous firmware updates for the AirPods, but I've noticed that the auto switching is fast as ever, especially with macOS. When you switch from iOS to macOS and vice versa, the audio just switches pretty much instantaneously, which is awesome because that's definitely not what we had with iOS 16. It was so slow and you'd have to manually connect to your Mac. So much better now. Now, as far as the sound quality goes, I know a lot of people always ask me, has the sound quality improved? Has the bass response gotten better? Has the treble gotten better? Now, it's hard to say, and again, this is all very subjective. Like audio in general is extremely subjective, but I will say that the sound quality does sound a bit more balanced. So I feel like I say that a lot, but it does sound a little bit more balanced in terms of, weighing out the mids, the lows, and the highs and all that. So everything seems more balanced, and some might even notice an improvement to the bass response, but the bass sounds just as strong as it did previously to me. But you'll have to let me know in a comment down below if anything has changed drastically for you in terms of sound quality. So that is the new AirPods Pro 2 firmware update version 6A305. So I hope this update improved some things for you. I hope it fixed some bugs for you. Again, this is not going to be a big feature update. It's just a bug fix update, and Apple didn't really provide any additional details in terms of what bugs specifically have been patched. But let me know your experience with this update down in the comment section below. Also, if you enjoyed this video, if you like these AirPods videos, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe for more iOS 17 and AirPods coverage. But anyways, guys, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.